Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we will be discussing on the monthly cost of living in the UK for a family of 4 as of Jan 2025. Coming to the figures, everything I've mentioned here is in pounds and I've divided it into two tables. One is the Jan 2025 last month's expense and another one showing the average expense within the last 2 years. Coming to the rent, our rent has been 575 for a two-bed end of terraced house, and the average within the last 2 years has also been the same, that is 575. The reason being we are living in northeast of England where the rental prices are a bit low. That is the reason I would always suggest to go outside London because the rental prices will be low. If the same house we are going to rent in London, it would be nearly £2,000 or more. So try to choose a house that is within your means. And if it is outside London, that would be more cheaper, especially in the northeast of England. Coming to the council tax, our council tax has been £118, and the average within the last 2 years is £120. Reason being there has been a bit of increase in between, and then again it came down. So that is the reason the average has been 120. Utilities, the electricity bill for the last month has been £236, whereas the average of the last 2 years was 156. And this is the reason is now it is the winter period, and so the electricity gas charges are more. So electricity includes our gas as well, sorry. Coming to the water bills, it is £23, and the average of the last 2 years have been 22.4. Coming to the food and grocery bills, it has in the last month, Jan 2025, it has been £608, and the average of the last 2 years have been £452. So now we are a family of four. So that is another reason the prices are increasing. We have baby, and we have included all the baby's food and supplies as well in it. And on top of it, the prices have gone up for the food, and we are also almost every day having Indian food. So the Indian groceries from the Indian supermarkets are actually more expensive, and that is the reason our food and grocery bills have been so high. Coming to the transportation cost, this includes car repair, petrol, taxi, parking, bus and train cost all included. So in Jan 2025, it was £153, whereas the average of the last 2 years was £232. This is mainly for our one car, that we only have one car, and we are planning to buy another one hopefully later this year. So the car expenses will definitely go up by the end of this year. Coming to the broadband and phone expenses, it has been £44 in Jan 2025, and the average of the last 2 years have been 68.72. The reason it was more is because my husband had a phone plus SIM deal, and now the phone has been paid off, and that is the reason the price has come down. Both of our connection is with Lebara now, and I think it is one of the best because the data is also very cheap, as well as we get 100 minutes international calls, and we can even have that use that international calls in other countries. There is a list of countries in the Europe where also we can use the same data as well as the international call facility. So that's why I think it is one of the cheapest and the best providers. I can put the link for Labara mobile in the description if anyone is interested. We have tried other phones like Leica or 3, but the prices were very high, as well as there weren't significant deals. If with Leica mobile there are deals, but then the range is very low in other places. So I struggled to get proper data in many places when I was using Leica. So I think Lebara mobile has been the best, and that cost £10 each for both of us. The broadband is the cost is nearly 24. Coming to the childcare and extracurricular cost for the kids, as of Jan 2025, the out of school club costed nearly £51. This was for just like 2 days of morning clubs that we are sending every week, and that is the cost for it. Um, and nursery has been zero because my younger one is not going to nursery at the moment because my mother is here to help us since the last 1 month, and we are also adjusting our timings. Um, but later this year, we will have to start to send her to nursery. The elder one is going to primary school, so that's why we don't need a nursery for her now. But we used to send her to nursery, and that is the reason the average of the last 2 years have been 369.11 pounds. And the nursery costs are nearly £50 per day if you are sending the kids from morning till evening, and it reduces to half or so if you're sending them for half a day. So all these costs need to we have to calculate these expenses as well when we are planning to come to the UK. Extracurricular costs include her gymnastic classes, keyboard classes, and also the dance Bharatanatyam class. So there she's going for various classes, and that costs us nearly £104. That was for last month, and the average within the last 2 years have been £131.5. Coming to healthcare and fitness, in the last month it was £0 for medicine, but the average of the last 2 years have been £6, and that includes the over-the-counter medicines as well as dental expenses. Um, for fitness, this category mainly includes the swimming lessons of my daughter and my husband. So that is nearly £60 per month, and the average of the last 2 years have been 64.57. The insurance expenses, this includes life insurance, critical illness cover, as well as our car insurance. For Jan 2025, it has been only £97 because the car insurance wasn't deducted in that month. So it was mainly the life and critical illness that we paid for. But the average of the last 2 years have been 125.16, and this will go up. A reason being the life and critical illness cover we have taken recently, so the average within the last 2 years has been low. But coming to the end of this year, this average will go up. For entertainment and leisure, um, that includes eating out, clothing, or gifts. The eating out has been £322 in last month. The average of the last 2 years were 233.83. Clothing has been £93 in January, and the average of the last 2 years was nearly 64.11. For gifts, we had spent £28 in January, but average of the last 2 years has been nearly £63 per month. Coming to the payment to India, this includes some expenses that we have to pay for, or any payment dues, or as well as family expenses. And for in January it has been £77, but the average of the last 2 years has been £276.22. For holiday or for traveling to India, we have another budget. And last month we had applied for Schengen visa, and that costed us nearly £582 just for the visa process. And the average of the last 2 years has been £395.77 um, for this traveling. For UK settling in, this includes mainly all the licensing, GMC license, or any courses and things that we have to do in order to progress in the UK and in order to settle. This also includes the driving lessons and the cost for the driving test and things. So last month it has been £400, and the average of the last 2 years has been nearly £170 per month. Coming to unexpected expenses, so in Jan 25 we had £120 spent for an electrical survey for a house that we are hoping to buy if everything goes well, and the average of the last 2 years have been £511.81 for unexpected expenses. Currently we have removed this category in our budget calculator, uh, but I have included it currently because already there was this section average for the last 2 years, and I just put the home expenses in it um, for this presentation. But from next month onwards, we will be dividing it into the proper categories rather than putting it as unexpected. Then there are some usual expenses that were not included this month, like TV licensing. So for TV license, we spend nearly £19.38 per month. So if we are seeing live TV or live anything live here in the UK, we have to pay for an extra license, and that is the cost for it. And for ATM withdrawals, and usually we withdraw nearly 40 or 36.55 around pounds per month. But last month we didn't withdraw anything, and these withdrawals are mainly for some like association programs and things where they prefer to buy it in cash, or if you're going to church and for other services, etc. But otherwise, usually we pay as through the card here. So very rarely we need cash, and that is nearly £40 or 36.55 per month. So the total expense in January 2025 has been £3,691, and the average of the last 2 years was £3,994.22 per month. So let me know in the comments what you think about the expenses. I know it's nearly in the higher side. If our rental cost was more, or definitely would have gone up even more. And towards the end of this year, I'm expecting the expenses to go up significantly, because the nursery expenses, as I said, a second car expense, everything will add up. So by the end of this year, definitely our expense won't be in this range. Anyway, if you want to know more about our budget, I can include our budget calculator as well. Um, and so just because I'm saying that this is our expense, that doesn't mean that we don't have anything for saving. If you want to know how much we have saved in the last couple of years in the UK, let me know in the comment section and I can share that as well. Thank you and have a nice day.